What is up, YouTube? Ham Radio QSO here today. It's hot, and I'm thinking another antenna project. It's been a bit since I uploaded the video. I've been busy with this old thing over here, the spoke. Long story on that, we won't get into it. But last time you saw, I had my shack done, which I've not been using the shack because I don't have any AC in there, and it is hot, hot, hot. So what I done is relocated my radio equipment into my bedroom. Keep it out of the living room, keep it out of her way, and I can go in there and sit in the air conditioner and I can do some radio. But here lately, I've been experimenting with 80 meters. Let me show you what I've got here. So in case I haven't covered it, this is what I got going on. I concreted me a top section of Roan 25 into the ground, put me some mass pipe on it, and that's what I hang my dipole off of now, and my end fed, because I've been utilizing my shack, the tower there. My plan, what it was, is the end fed comes off of that tower, comes to this tower. That way I can change it up and down. I can use dipoles in between here if I need to. I've got enough cable that I can reach the center, and it's super versatile. But now that I'm into the house, it's still versatile, but I don't know, there's something missing here. I'm not quite sure what it is. Yeah, I've got an end fed hanging over there, runs across and goes to the tower, goes way up there next to the big jet stream antenna for 2 meter, and it works really good. 80 meter dipole, man, it works great. I can cover the whole general portion of the band, don't need a tuner. Let me show you where this thing goes. And that's about 22 feet there. I know it's not high enough for an 80 meter, but hey, we use what we got. That's what ham radio is. If it works, it's not stupid. Keep it simple, stupid. I've always heard, but it comes down through here. It's tied off to that tree down there. See it there? And it goes way up there. Works good. I can actually get 10 meter on this antenna. But something's missing. I've got a 17 meter dipole that I can string between these two, between this mass pipe and where the other little short 2 meter antenna and the end fed's hanging, and it works good. 17 meters is a good band. If you don't have 17 meters, highly recommend you get on it. But I think I want something here that I will use more than 80 meters. Seems like I don't use 80 meters much. I've talked to a few people on there. It's a good band. Everybody's been nice. Yada yada. You know the deal. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this old connector. You can see it's bent right there at the top. Don't ask me how it got bent, but it did. It's going to work fine for what I need. So what I think I'm going to do, is either do a 15 meter dipole or a dipole for 20 meters. Now I like 15. 15 is a good band. I like 22, but 20 is crowded. 15 is crowded. And 40, you know, if you know how 40 is, 40 is just unreal. But I got to thinking, if I put a dipole on this tower, I can just move it, an inverted V, I can just move it around. Spin it around the tower in different places, try different angles, and it should be super versatile. So that's what I'm thinking. But man, is it hot out here today. Seems like it's always either 0 or 100 degrees when out here doing antenna stuff. But I'll show you real quick what I use, and if I decide to get into this, I'll explain it at the end. So here is what I use to make my center insulator and my end insulator with. Old cheap cutting boards from Dollar Store, Dollar General, Family Dollar, either one, they all have it. It's $3, and I can get several insulators out of this. So what I do is I take a jigsaw and cut it. Then once I've cut it, I'll put me a hole in the center of the cut piece from a connector. Then I'll drill cable relief holes for the cable so I can stretch it real tight and it doesn't pull on the connector. Like this right here, like the 17 meter dipole. Use it to make insulators with at the end. And this is what my center insulator looks like. Super simple, super cheap, works great. This 17-meter antenna here is fantastic. But 17 meters is not a real busy band, so I need something busy, and I'm bored and I need something to do. So I think what I'm going to do is cut this, and I'll show you what it looks like when I've got it cut out. Then I'll go ahead and cut me a couple insulators. I'll probably use this little section back here for my insulators, because they don't have to be as big as that, but you'll get the idea of what I'm doing. So let me be back. But on second thought, I think I'm going to use this box, just for simplicity reasons. I can drill my relief holes in the side there, 3 holes on each side, tie my rope through these holes here at the top, and yeah, it'll make a nice little box. It'll be super simple. Already got the hole for the connector, screw holes, bolt holes, whatever you want to call them there. It'll just make life so much easier. So that's what we're going to do. So let me get this kind of finagled together, and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. Alrighty, here's what we got so far. All I've done was just drill holes to the side of this box, feed the wire through, and I'll cut a connector there. I'll solder that wire in, then I'll solder this to that center conductor, and I even got a lid for this box somewhere. We'll put a lid on it. We'll put a little wire hanger there, and we'll be good to go. So I'll be back. Well, I've got the wires soldered in. Had to use my old crappy soldering iron that's really underpowered for this, so my solder joints look like crap. But hey, this is amateur radio. We're not supposed to be professionals, and it'll work just fine. Here's what I'm using, an old welder. My good one, I don't know what's wrong with it. It won't even heat up, but looks like crap, but it'll work. So let me get the wire loops on here, then we'll go over to the tower and mast section there, or pipe and mast section, whatever you want to call it. We'll hang this thing up, and we'll hook a cable to it, and we'll put a VNA on it and see where we're at. I bet it's going to be fairly close. I guarantee we'll have to shorten it, but be right back. Okay, there's what we're going to have. You can see I did cut the end insulators out. This is how I do mine. I use that board, drill 2 holes, feed the wire through. This extra is what I use to trim off of, and once it's trimmed, it'll go through here, through the open hole, where it'll be tied off with a rope or something. But I'm gonna go over here and hook it to this. Let's take you guys over here with me. I've been working in the shade, it ain't been too bad, but now I'm out in this hot sun, and man, it's hot today. Show you what I got going on here. I've got some pulleys up there, which makes it super easy to deal with. Now I see why everybody complains about doing stuff with one hand. Makes it a little more difficult, so I'll pull that through. Move this around. Can't see for the sun, but here she is. You can see this is how I done the 80 meter. Put me just some kind of little rude choke in there. Don't even know what kind of toroidal that is. I used it for a QRP dipole once upon a time, but put it to good use here. So let me get these swapped, and then we'll tie our legs out, and we'll go from there. Okay, we've got it up there. I don't know if you can see it, but you gotta make sure these wires don't touch each other. I get this trimmed off. I just use wires into a ground stake. My insulator should keep everything separate. Once we get this antenna tuned, I can cut these off and wrap it around itself or whatever, and get rid of this wire. This is just for temporary setup. Now we'll go throw it on a VNA, see what happens. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but at 21.310 we're 2.2 on the SWR. Our SWR is real low right here. So what we need to do is trim this antenna down to move that over. So what I'll do is I'll go out here and cut an inch or two off each side, and we'll just keep working it until we get that dip over there. But so far so good, we're pretty close. Okay, so here's what we have right now. What I done was cut an inch off each leg, then wrap the remaining wire back up around itself. And you can see it made a huge difference. Right now, at 21.310, we're at 1.3 on SWR. Completely usable. The lowest SWR was right at 1.1 to 2 at 29.50. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook this up to the radio and see what kind of SWR the radio gives me. Give me just a second. Okay, so let's go to 15 meters. 21.450 is the highest we can go. In the general portion, let's see what it says here. About 1.2. We'll go down to 275. .1 to 1. So 15 meters is 21.275 to 21.450. 21.275 1 1. Then the 450. About a 1.23. So I would call that success. This antenna is completely usable without a tuner on 15 meters. The bands are pretty crappy and dead, but we'll scroll around here and see what we can need to throw our call sign out and see what our power is. It's Kilo Quebec 4 Lima Papa Whiskey. It looks pretty good. I think this antenna is going to be great. Let's hit the tune and do that again. It's Kilo Quebec 4 Lima Papa Whiskey. About the same, so it's good. So we have a functioning antenna for 15 meters. Whenever the band conditions open up, I'll do some proper testing and try to make some DX contacts with it. But it's awful hot to be out there messing with an antenna today anyway, so turn that tuner back off. There we go. Well, there you have it. Quick and easy, simple dipole for 15 meters. Wasn't that complicated to get tuned. All I done was use the chart and cut it about 6 inches longer than what the chart said. But yeah, this is how I radio. This is how a lot of people radio. We don't have big fancy setups. We don't have a lot of money, so we use what we got. As you can see, what I got works. It's like I said, keep it simple, stupid. I've heard that 100 times. Don't like that phrase, but man, we just proved a point today. But what I need to do though is I need to put a cover on that box, because the way it is right now, it'll hold water, but I'm not too worried about it because there's 2 other weep holes in there. Worst come to worst, I drill a couple holes. If I want to use it this way, it's perfectly fine to use it this way. It just saves me from having to spend $40 to go out and buy a dipole when I can do it myself. And I get more enjoyment out of putting an antenna together and getting on the air with it and making contacts all around the world with something that I put together out of stuff that I already had. You can do the same thing. It's not rocket science. Get yourself a VNA, watch a couple videos, get some ideas in your head, build you an antenna. I love it. Didn't think when I got into ham radio that antennas was going to be my thing, but guess what? They are. That's the beauty of it. Ham radio can take you in so many different directions. But anyway, sun's beating down on me. It's about 95 degrees out here. Heat index of 103, I think they said. And it's supposed to be like this all this week. Rest of this week. Today's Thursday. Weekend's supposed to be hot. All halfway in the next week. The end of next week, though, they're saying we get a cool spell, which would probably make working on radio antennas much more pleasurable. But I don't mind it either way. But there we go. It's the end of this video till I figure out something else to do. Hopefully I can get some heat in my shack before winter and actually get into my shack and use it and finish the insides and have it ready for spring next year. It's just one thing after another. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But anyway, I'm rambling. I'm out of here. Ham Radio QSO. Peace. Catch you on the airways. See ya.